What's good, YouTube? It's Frostie, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys 5 pitching tips in MLB The Show 25. First one, before you guys even start trying to get better at this game, get pinpoint pitching on. I recommend pinpoint with chevron ball marker. It is by far the best. You can see the break on every pitch, the exact location you're going to throw it. As you can see, the par on pinpoint, what that means, the little circle where the chevron arrows are pointing, the ball can be anywhere in that location if you have a perfect release. So right there, I got a perfect release. The ball is in the middle. Sometimes the ball can go to the outer edges, but that's very rare. As you can see, it's right there, right in the middle of the par. If you guys can master this, it is by far the best pitching method. I don't care if you guys are good on meter, analog, pulse. I used to use pulse before pinpoint just because I liked it better, but no, it's terrible this year. You guys need to use pinpoint. By far the best. Easiest to pitch sinkers, easiest to tunnel because you can use the par to your advantage. Easiest to locate, like I said. I think the number one reason why people struggle with pinpoint is the fact that, like, let's say Logan Webb is in the windup here. His motion is a lot slower, so the pinpoint's going to be a lot slower. But now watch what happens when I put a runner on first. His pinpoint becomes a lot faster. And I don't think people realize that. That is a major thing with pinpoint, is that from the stretch, the pinpoint is going to be a lot faster than in the windup. So if you're struggling with pinpoint, you're not getting perfect releases, I recommend looking at the pinpoint. As you can see, that's exactly what you should be doing. Look how fast the motion is. See, it goes right, down, then up fairly slowly. And you just want to replicate that motion. That's exactly what you want to do. Each pitcher has their own unique motion. They have their own unique one. Some are way faster than others. Some are way slower than others. It takes time, I promise you. You guys just got to put the reps in, put the practice in. It shouldn't take you too long to get this down. I think I got it down maybe week 1 of 21. And I'm not too good. I used pulse pitching forever, so it did not take me long at all. But yeah, that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, pitch types. The meta pitch types in this game are sinker, cutter, and slider. As you can see in my bullpen, I have at least one person with a sinker or a slider or an outlier four seam, a cutter, or a sinker. If you use a card like Noah Schultz, he's fairly good, but he just doesn't have a cutter, and he's just unusable on the higher difficulties because he doesn't throw hard. You know, he's got a sinker, but that sinker is only like 91, 90. But if you got a guy like Paul Skeens, you need outlier. You know, he throws 102, but also has a sinker. You know, you can jam those righties, make the lefties roll over. It's a necessity. A guy like Outlighter, meta pitcher, sinker, cutter, and slider. So you can tunnel that cutter, you can tunnel that slider, jam the lefties with the sinker, tunnel the cutter into righties with the sinker. I'm going to show you guys exactly what that means. So I'm playing the CPU right now to show you guys how to tunnel pitches. So right now I'm going to throw a cutter in. And what you want to do is you want to work off that cutter in, because since a righty's at the plate, the cutter in is honestly the hardest pitch to hit in the game. So if you can throw a bunch of cutters and make your opponent late on them, you can tunnel the sinker in, and they'll either swing through it or roll over or stare at it. Now, I'm playing the CPU right now, so it's not going to be the best showcase, but I promise you, if you tunnel the cutter, sinker, and slider, it's the best combo in the game. So this is just an example of tunneling. I'm just working the sinker in, getting that super dot. Gonna throw another cutter here, same spot. Try working the cutter way inside as well. You don't always have to throw strikes. That's the thing about tunneling. You don't really want to throw strikes the whole time because your opponent will think it's another pitch and they'll swing through it. And it's okay to mix in a changeup. I do not recommend throwing curveballs. I think curveballs are the worst pitch, especially on lower difficulties. That's another tip as well. If you're on anything below Hall of Fame, you should never throw a curveball, never throw a changeup. I promise you, just work in the fastball, work in the slider, work in the cutter. Tip number 3, Kontrol Freaks. You don't have to use P-rings. I know I recommended P-rings in my hitting tips video, but you need a pair of Kontrol Freaks on the right stick. It helps you draw the pinpoint better. It helps you locate pitches better. less movement on the stick means more accurate input and way less delay. You know, some sticks are a little more like jittery. You know, the default Xbox controller is unusable for Pinpoint, so I think that's why a lot of people also struggle with Pinpoint, is because, you know, the Xbox stick is just terrible. The default Xbox controller is unusable. I promise you. Don't use that controller. You know, get yourself a GameSir, get yourself a Thrustmaster. There's a lot of other, get yourself a Powerade. There's a lot of other controllers to get that are very cheap and usable, and you're just hurting yourself playing on that Xbox controller. If you guys are on PS, I recommend the default controller or the Edge, of course. You know, you can change the dead zones in your controller on the Edge, and PlayStation's honestly easier to pitch on than Xbox, but Xbox, of course, is easier to hit on due to input lag. Of course, Xbox is easier to hit on, but PS is easier to pitch on. So you gotta pick your poison. You know, do you want to hit better? Do you want to pitch better? I think we all want to hit better. So that's why we're on Xbox, most of us. But PS is very good to pitch on. You know, the Pinpoint's just more accurate on pitching, or for pitching on PS. I don't know what it is, but yeah, that's tip number 3. Tip number 4. Use pitchers with high hits in Ks per 9. My rotation right now, I have Paul Skeens, Clay Buchholz, Jordan Zimmerman, Al Leiter, and Roger Clemens. As you can see, all of them either have very high hits per 9 or Ks per 9. What hits per 9 does is it makes your PCI smaller. It gives you less exit velos on hits. What Ks per 9 does is it makes less foul balls, makes your outer PCI smaller. And what pitching clutch does is it actually replaces your hits per 9 during clutch situations, so runners in scoring position, especially. So like Clay Buchholz has 116 hits per 9 with runners in scoring position. That is unreal. It's a necessity in this game. The bigger the PCI, the less you need to be near the ball for a hit, especially a home run. Tip number 5, don't throw as many strikes. I hate to say it. I think if you guys are struggling pitching, you are just throwing too many strikes and too many pitches that are just easy to hit. You know, try to mix in a ball or two, maybe once in a while. If your opponent is hitting you, I promise you, you're being too predictable. You're not mixing in pitches enough. You're throwing way too many balls over the middle of the plate, way too many balls that are hittable. If your opponent's hitting fastballs, you know, try mixing in a slider, try mixing in a changeup. If they're on that, then you just gotta tunnel. You gotta sequence better. You know, sequencing's a big thing in this game, especially in BR. You know, I don't throw too many strikes in BR just because it's on All-Star. Your opponent's PCIs are huge. They're gonna hit the ball. What you gotta do is you gotta try to make them swing at balls. It's just a necessity in this game. As you can see, my ERA on the year right now, because I've been playing on Go difficulty, because I've been playing on Legend so consistently, is a 1.89 ERA. You know, I've played some good players. You know, I just know how to pitch. If you watch me on Twitch, you can see my tunneling. I explain what it is a lot more in depth on my live. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys liked the video today. Make sure you like and subscribe. We got more videos in the future coming. Some gameplay videos soon. Tomorrow or the next day, I should have a BR tips video up. How to go flawless, why I'm 13 times flawless as of right now, what I do in BR, what's my drafting style like. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.